Hey podcast, here Frank Sasso here from New Pod City. Just want to let you know, August 3rd to the 6th, August 3, 4, 5, and 6 of 2021, we will be heading down to Nashville, Tennessee for the Podcast Movement 2021. If you want to come and join us in Nashville, Tennessee, August 3rd to the 6th, 2021, you can go to podcastmovement.com, buy your tickets, and be sure to type in New Pod City to receive a 30% discount off your ticket. That's right, New Pod City, all one word, no spaces, to receive a 30% discount right off your ticket price. We look forward to seeing you down there. Sasso out.
This is Jeff.
This is Brandon.
We're the Film Blurs. This episode is brought to you by...
If you're a digital video editor, you need EYES. EYES is all about giving editors the creative freedom to create any application environment. It is designed to put the power in the hands of the editor with incredible flexibility. EYES, editing refined. EYES allows multiple users to edit, work with content as it imports, and getting content to the user incredibly fast. Check out the latest version of EYES that just launched. Download a 30-day trial today at EYES.net. Get your films on with the Blurs.
Once an idea has taken hold of the brain, it's almost impossible to eradicate.
Unpacking movies has never been more spot on, woke, fire, and just plain lit.
They are lit all the time.
So if you're unsure whether or not to plop down some cash for a film, check out the Blurs.
When a man with a 45 meets a man with a rifle, the man with a pistol is a dead man.
Brondo's got what plants crave.
It's got electrolyte.
You really only need to hang mean bastards. But mean bastards, you need to hang.
Don't say you weren't warned. Here's Brandon and Jeff.
Hello, and welcome to the Film Blurs. I'm Jeff Stewart, and I chose violence today.
I'm the protagonist. I move backwards through time. I'm the protagonist. I use battered wives and kids as chess pieces to save the world. I'm the protagonist. I cuck Superman. I'm the protagonist. I fall in love with Lois Lane because she's in love with someone else. I'm the protagonist. I break up with Lois because she's still in love with Superman. I'm the protagonist. I'm the product of two cis white men who have too much power. I'm the protagonist. I have a toxic fan base. I'm the protagonist. I'm the protagonist. I'm the protagonist.
Yes! Yo, can we get a DJ Khaled remix of that? Like, we the best! Oh, shit. Yo, you came up with a whole entire fucking theme song. I love it. Yo,
AKA, Joe, I'm having people over in 2 hours. What the fuck, man? You still didn't get the wings. I let you over to see the kids off a court date. This is illegal. And you didn't get the wings. I said lemon pepper wet. I said buffalo. And I said barbecue. Go get them shits before my girl gets back. She hates you. She's gonna divorce me if she sees you in this fucking house. Stop crying. Kids, come here. Joe's crying. Go get the fucking wings before my guests get here. AKA B Wood the Magnificent.
Fucking Joe. Joe's fucking up left and right, man. He's got one job, get the right wing order, and his secondary job is being a parent.
Oh man, the saga of Joe's just beginning though.
Joe just ends up like, at the strip club on a Friday night, drunk, talking about how was his weekend, how he took his weekend,
goes home alone.
The saga of Joe. All right, so I don't even know where to fucking go from this. Like, I don't know.
So, why don't you talk about the Conjuring universe?
All right. So, last week, if you listen to last week's episode, we did a review of The Conjuring 3. Some of you may have had trouble listening to that one. We're on it. It's going to be fixed. It's going to be re-uploaded. Yeah. So we did the review of Conjuring 3. The Devil Made Me Do It, which is the worst title ever.
Yeah.
Why did you call it the Conjuring 3?
3?
Yeah. And so I wasn't aware that there was a Conjuring-verse because I didn't care, because they all seemed like stupid movies except for the first one. So I started watching The Conjuring 2, which is not as good as the first Conjuring, but it's competent.
It's still solid.
Yeah, it's solid. It's competent. And then I'm slowly working my way through, because like all the Annabelle movies are part of the Conjuring-verse. The Nun is part of the Conjuring-verse.
Yeah.
I hate how everything's a verse now.
Got it. Marvel started off the shared universe, and see there that makes sense, but like
because it's a comic book.
But you know, everybody got to cash in, right?
Right. And then so last night I watched was the Curse of La Llorona,
the biggest piece of shit that they churned out yet.
It wasn't scary at all.
Yeah.
The best part of that movie is the disgraced priest. I love a disgraced priest.
The priest that shows up from Annabelle.
No, I'm talking about the dude from Training Day.
Oh, okay. All right, that dude. Yeah, because there's two priests, and the one priest is from Annabelle.
Right. So I haven't made my way there yet.
Yeah.
It just seems like it's shoehorning all of this shit together.
Yes.
And they are getting progressively worse.
Yeah.
I've said this before. I'm a big horror fan. Give me some well-placed tension. You know, I'm not against a jump scare, but use it effectively. And I'm sick of CGI in horror movies.
Go back to practical.
Go back to fucking practical, man. Just have someone in the corner.
Yeah.
With some shadows and shit like that. Give me some good makeup.
That's what made the first one fucking scary.
You know?
Like, you know how terrified I was? I slept down. I didn't even sleep in my room. I slept downstairs in the family room. And my brother came down. He's like, you sleeping down here? I was like, yeah. He's like, all right, I'm going to sleep on the couch then with you. I was like, all right.
So you know a movie is good. You know a horror movie is effective when after you're watching it, you start like whenever you're going through your house, you go home and shit like that, you start going over the rules.
Yeah.
That they set up in that movie. And it's like, all right, well, I'm not A, B, or C, D. I didn't do that. All right, I'm cool. I can take a shit now. Like I can go to the bathroom now. You know, I was that way with Insidious.
Yeah.
Yeah, Insidious terrified me, man. So I remember after I saw Insidious, I was literally, all right, in the kitchen, and I was like, okay, what are the rules? What do I have to do not to get murked by this fucking ghost?
Right.
You know, and that is a hallmark of a good horror movie. It imprints on you.
Yeah.
You know, you go forward throughout the rest of your day, the rest of the week, with that kind of like that impending doom.
Right.
That's what I want out of these movies.
Same.
And we're not getting that.
No. The terror and dread were there for the first movie, and I think the only thing that came even remotely close to the first movie was like the first 15 minutes of that third Annabelle movie. Like the atmosphere is what made it scary. But then, you know, that, you know, like everything in this universe kind of nosedive pretty quickly.
Yeah, so I'm working my way through the Conjuring universe, and
because it's all up on HBO Max.
Yeah, and the chronology is all fucked up.
Yeah, because Annabelle 2 comes before Annabelle 1, and Annabelle 2 leads directly into Annabelle 1, and then Annabelle 3 takes place like right in between the events of The Conjuring, so like the opening of The Conjuring and then the rest of the movie.
Yeah, like
it's fucked.
Yeah, you're not Marvel. Stop that. You know, I did learn a fun little fact, which, you know, is kind of cool in a production value sort of way. If you look at all of the actual Conjuring movies, right? You know, the ones with the Warrens in it. Mm-hmm. The dude's, what's his name? What's the character's name?
Ed?
Ed, yeah. Ed Warren's tie always matches his wife's skirt.
Oh, okay.
It's always the same, like, pattern.
So they're always in sync.
They're always in sync.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. But that's the smartest thing I can gather from these fucking movies.
It's sad to me because these are based off their case files, and they've gotten progressively more and more just stupid, which I don't know how you could take something that's based off a true story, like loosely based, and just fuck it up like this.
Like we said last week, the scariest part of The Devil Made Me Do It is the end when they're playing the real tape.
Yeah,
of the exorcism
tape. Yeah, that shit freaked me the fuck out.
Yeah. So try. You know, hopefully the Conjuring 4, skippy doo dop dibby dop doop doop bleep blop, whatever the fuck they want to call it, they go back to the well and they try to actually make a great movie.
All right. Well, before we get into what have you watched lately, let's just talk about this. They announced last week a new Lord of the Rings movie. It's going to be an animated movie, an anime specifically, and it's going to be called The War of the Rohirrim. The Rohirrim are the people in Rohan, and it's going to take place at Helm's Deep again. And it takes place before the the events of the Lord of the Rings, and I'm pretty interested, man. Like, if you're gonna do stuff like this is perfect. One film,
right?
Animated,
but is it really gonna be one film though?
It's one film.
Okay, because like these motherfuckers like to do some slick shit.
I mean, the thing is like when I was a kid, I knew The Hobbit because I used to watch that cartoon all the time. Like, that cartoon movie's awesome.
Right. And like that cartoon movie was made in the 80s, right?
Yeah.
They didn't fuck around with shit in animated movies in the 80s. They were terrifying. Like The Secret of Nim. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
Woo.
But, and I had to read The Hobbit in school. So when I saw Lord of the Rings, I was like, oh shit, this is connected to The Hobbit? What the fuck? So when they announced the Hobbit movie, I was excited. You know what I mean? Because I was like, okay, well, we're getting this shit in live action by the original team, 2 movies. And then they announced it was going to be 3 movies. And then they changed the title of the last movie from Here and Back Again, which makes sense because that's the name of the fucking book Bilbo's writing, to Battle of the Five Armies. And Battle of the Five Armies in the book is only 3 pages. It's like 5 pages. You know why? Bilbo gets knocked the fuck out and is passed out the whole fucking movie. So instead of doing that shit, they literally made a whole fucking battle that it's just a CG. That's one of the things I loved about the original Lord of the Rings is like it was believable and it felt tangible. It felt real because one, everything was practical. They built the sets. They had almost
Helm's Deep, baby. Yeah. Helm's Deep.
All the they built all those props. Like these movies weren't cheap. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like to me, they're the last real epic films done almost practically. Like, yeah, they use CG obviously, but
the CGI was used correctly. It was used to accent the practical.
Yes.
It wasn't used instead of the practical.
Yes. And that's the problem with these new Hobbit movies is not only was it shot in a high frame rate and then shot on green screen, you can tell, and it lacks the soul of the Lord of the Rings where it just looks like you're watching a cartoon with people in it.
Didn't Peter Jackson jump off halfway, or they fired him halfway through?
They took over on the 3rd movie.
Yeah.
And he had an ulcer making the 3rd movie. That's how bad it got because Guillermo was supposed to do this and he left because he didn't agree with how Smog was going to look.
Right.
So
can I
sure, go ahead.
Can I give you a secret?
Sure.
Deep down, I have never seen those Hobbit movies.
And don't ever.
As soon as they announced them, and I knew there were going to be 3 movies, I was like, I can't.
The thing is, too, how the fuck do you turn a 300-page book into 3 2.5-hour movies? And you know what? You proved it right.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to say this. The extended cuts of the first 2 Hobbit movies are actually pretty good movies. But the extended cut of that 3rd Hobbit movie, bro, they made it rated R. The Hobbit is a children's book, and y'all made it rated R, added in all this fake CG blood, all this fake CG gore. And I'm sitting there watching this. I'm like, this is like watching a 15-year-old lose his fucking mind. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck is the purpose after a while, right?
Yeah. I mean, what is the purpose? What is the purpose of 3 Hobbit movies and an extended 2-hour battle scene for the 3rd one? Like, there's no
oh shit, yeah,
selling toys. That's what it's about.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's why New Line's that's why it tanked. Like, who bought New Line?
That was before they. Yeah, Time Warner did the stupid thing and rolled New Line into Warner Brothers instead of keeping them their own separate studios.
Right.
So that happened after that shit. So Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Remember, because New Line was making all the right moves, baby. Like, that's why everything they put out, people were like, okay, we get it. It makes sense. That's why they made money. And then, could you imagine if Warner Brothers had control over Lord of the Rings and it wasn't New Line?
I mean, Samwise would have definitely been cucked by by Frodo. You know, like, it's just like
yeah, man.
Fucking.
All right, so anyway, that's War of the Rohirrim coming out 2023. It's gonna be animated by the dude who did the Blade Runner shorts films.
And I fuck with those Blade Runner shorts.
Yeah, they're good.
Yeah,
they're good. And hold on, let me see what else, because he's worked on something else too that was pretty big. It's another anime, but I'm very interested to. I'm not really steeped in the lore of Middle Earth, and there's a lot of history because what
was it? Was it called the Silmarillion?
Yeah.
Like the before text, and isn't that like 1,000 pages or some shit like that?
Well, I mean, yeah, because Lord of the Rings takes place in the Third Age, so you still have 2 other ages worth of shit. And then I found out just from fucking around on Wikipedia one day, the main villain of Lord of the Rings, Sauron, you know how he's like the most powerful?
Right.
Yo, he's some dude's servant and he just took over. So there's a dude more powerful than him that we don't know about.
Well, I mean, they're doing the TV show, aren't they?
Yeah, but the TV show's taking place near the end of the Second Age. So they're still like, yeah, man. Amazon spent goddamn $1 billion on this show. So if this show sucks, they wasted a bill.
But you know what? Is Amazon. They got that kind of money, man.
That's true.
They got Amazon money, baby.
That's true. Okay. So the guy's name is Kenji Kayamuya. Sorry if I messed up your name, sir. Ghost in the Shell standalone complex is what he did, the TV show. And he did the Blade Runner Black Lotus short. So, yeah, man, I'm excited, man. Jeffrey Addis and Will Matthews are writing the script, and they wrote the script for Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. I'm kind of mad I didn't get a second season. That was pretty cool.
Was it good?
Yeah, that was cool.
I had forgotten all about that.
Yeah. So, all right, that's Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim. Jeff, what have you watched lately?
Before I get into what I watched, I want to give a special shout out to Steve Kimmett.
Yeah.
So this dude, he actually wrote us an email, and it goes, hands down, Film Blurs is my favorite show on movies and pop culture, period. These two guys kill it with content and on-air chemistry. New Pod City is really amping up with the quality of their shows. Damn great stuff. So I just want to give a shout out to Steve.
Yeah.
We love you, man. Keep listening. Man.
Shout out to New Pod City. Shout out to Frank.
Yeah.
Please rate us 5 stars on Apple and iTunes so we can keep giving you this content. And I could please get a house closer to New York because I'm sick of traveling so much.
I just want a yacht, man.
I mean, fuck a yacht, but
I want a yacht, man. Because when shit goes south, man, I want to be on the water.
Jeff, you don't want a yacht. You want to be friends with the guy who has the yacht. You want to show up with the beer and the food and just enjoy it. Because you want to do the maintenance, like scraping up the barnacles, making sure that shit got like
I don't even know what a barnacle is, man. I don't even know. Yeah, okay.
You don't know what a fucking barnacle is, man?
Man, I'm not a fucking pirate. What the fucking know what a barnacle is?
Nigga, everybody knows what a fucking barnacle is, man.
Like, I'm not a fucking sea zoologist.
God damn it, man. God damn it. All right,
barnacles.
But before we get into what Jeff watched lately, I'll be doing an Instagram live on the Film Blurs page. It's going to be one of probably many drink-alongs.
I won't be able to make it for this one, but I wish I could make it.
So let me explain to you what we're doing, because F9 is coming out June 25th, and like at this point, like I am wet for that movie. Like I'm fucking like, if I was a lady, I'd have my legs spread wide. Like
I'm so horny for F9.
Give it. Yeah, we're watching. I'm gonna be watching Too Fast, Too Furious. Have a bottle of whiskey, and I'm gonna follow Jeff's lead on this. I'm gonna take half a shot, not a full shot, every time they say "cuz" or "bruh."
Yeah, because you will die. You will definitely die if you try to do a full shot.
Well, I'm most definitely gonna tap out. Like, I'm not making it the whole movie, but I'm gonna see how far I can make it. And just a fair warning: if I pass out during this Instagram live, keep watching the movie, keep taking the shots. We're all in this together. Have fun.
This is gonna be like the new Drunk History. Drunk.
I'm starting. I'm watching them all. I'm watching them all. But Too Fast, Too Furious. This is going to be a group thing. So join us Sunday at 1. Join us Sunday at 1. We are going to be drinking every time they say "cuz or bruh," and that is Sunday. What? I don't even know what fucking time is anymore, man. Let's see what this Sunday is.
Whenever the sun is at that angle.
Sunday the 20th. So Sunday the 20th, because like if you're not hanging with your dad or you don't give a fuck, join us.
You know what? I know Joe's gonna be available. Joe, he ain't got the kids.
Oh yeah,
right?
that's right. You know what? We'll make it Sunday at 2. Let's give everybody enough time to have their little brunch or their breakfast with pops. Yeah, that's right. I forgot the kids are gonna be making me breakfast.
That's right, man.
I'll talk to I'll talk to my friend Lisa. She was married to Joe. Joe's kids. I'll be like, Lisa, how's it being married to a billionaire instead of Joe's dumbass? And yo, this billionaire, because I take care of these kids so good, he gives me $1 million a week. How you like that, Joe? I know it makes you sick.
Oh, Joe, the Ballad of Joe. Yo. Joe's gonna be like the story of Joe. Once you make that into a movie, that's gonna be up for an Oscar.
You know what Joe is? You remember Channing Tatum in This Is the End? How he was on a leash?
Yeah,
that's Joe for me.
Okay, yeah. Everybody needs Gimp. yeah. Got Gimp money. All right, so let's actually get into the show. I guess I don't know. I mean, I could clown Joe all day long. So
all right, so Jeff, what have you watched lately?
Oh, I've watched a lot of stuff because, time is a construct and it does not really exist. But I do want to make a special point of telling everybody not to watch the movie Gully.
Oh, it sucks.
Oh, it is so bad, man. All right, so imagine if they tried to give the Droogs from A Clockwork Orange pathos, a backstory, and give the audience some empathy for them, but they're still assholes.
Damn.
Yeah, I watched that, and it's got that. It's beautifully shot. Some nice aerials of L.A. Yeah, it's got that slick music video vibe to it and everything like that.
Oh, all right, I'm turned off already.
Yeah, but the characters are just so unlikable. So you've got the mute kid who doesn't talk because he's traumatized. I don't want to spoil it for you why he's traumatized, but that's stupid. Like how that whole entire thing played out was stupid. Then you got the crazy dude, the crazy kid. He's always insane because he doesn't take his medicine and he has his own trauma. And then there's the white kid who's just traumatized because he's white trash and his mom is Amber Heard.
Oh, well, yeah. If your mom's Amber Heard, yeah, you're going to be fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, it is just so fucking predictable.
Damn.
The characters are unlikable. The two best characters in the whole entire movie, Jonathan Majors.
Oh, it's because it's Jonathan Majors.
Right, Jonathan Majors. And fucking, old boy, what's his name? I can't even fucking think of it. Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard.
Man.
Hey, man.
Hey, man. Where's my money, man?
Superman versus Batman. Those two are...
man.
Those are the two best characters in the whole entire fucking film. And you could cut them out of the film. And nothing would change. So the two best parts of this fucking movie, right? You could actually take out and give their own movies, and this movie is not affected at all.
Oh my god! Oh wow! All right.
Yeah. So because I fucked up. I tweaked my back this weekend, and I was taking some muscle relaxers, and so I just was passing out. Right, so I'm watching. So I've spent 8 hours trying to watch this fucking movie because I would fall asleep every 20 minutes, and I wake up as oh, is this the same fucking movie? Oh Jesus Christ! Yeah, it's just, and it's supposed to take place And like all right, so one of the descriptions is it takes place in dystopia, like as a nearly dystopian LA, a future dystopian LA. And I'm looking at it as like, so it's just LA. There's no future shit about it. Like, and it tries to make so many comments on culture and on growing up in the hood, but it all lands flat. So like they intercut some of the violence that these kids commit with video games, of like the video game versions of them.
Ooh wee.
Beat like so like the one scene they beat up some Mexican gangbangers and shit like that, right? All right. And so it cuts from them actually doing it to a video game of them doing it.
Damn, this sounds like a hot mess.
Right? But the thing is, they stopped that visual halfway through the movie. So if that was a thing that they did throughout the whole entire movie, okay, I at least get that through line. Okay, but they halfway through the movies is like, okay, we're just gonna stop this video game shit.
Fuck it, right?
And like, there's all sorts of delusions and shit that cut across. It tries to be smarter than it actually is, and honestly, there is a good movie in there, but it's buried underneath, people trying to pretend that they're deep. And like it's made by like some dudes who cut their teeth in music videos.
Gotcha. All right.
So it's like one of those things. It's not even as good as Belly.
Damn, we all know Belly only has like the opening sequence going for it.
Like story wise,
what was it? Episode 2, I was saying Belly's a masterpiece. I was fucking lying through my teeth. That movie's not good at all.
Yeah, that was a garbage movie. It looked good, but it was a garbage movie.
Yeah.
Belly, I think, is better than this.
God damn.
Right, and like, so I would say watch it just to see how fucking dumb it is. But it's no Moonlight, because that's what they're trying to do. They were trying to go for a Moonlight type vibe, and they just didn't have the wits about them to do it. I'm sorry if I'm shitting on you. I'm sorry if I'm hurting your feelings. Make a better movie. You had all this money.
I have limited time on my hands as is. So, and the one thing I want to do is rewatch the Fast Saga. So, this will be put on the back burner till like next month.
Right. So Jonathan Majors and Terrence, come for Jonathan Majors and Terrence Howard. Stay if you ever had a wet dream of Amber Heard being a white trash princess.
Yeah, man. If any of our listeners are young, you'll learn soon enough. Brains over beauty. Brains over beauty.
Cheers to that.
All right. What else have you watched?
What else have I watched? All right. So I discovered this show on Amazon through IMDb TV, which is fucking weird. It's called Time Wasters. It's a British show, black cast. It's about a jazz quartet from the present day that go back in time to like 1920s London, right? And it's absolutely fucking hilarious.
Okay.
Because they deal with the racism, like it's front and center, but they deal with it in such a humorous and way that it's it's offensive but not inoffensive. I can't really describe it. It's really, really smart.
Okay.
Yeah. Right. So they go back and they get hired as the Negro jazz musicians, right? For a for this rich chick.
Oh shit.
Right. And then they just start playing hits from the 2000s, but as jazz standards, and it's absolutely hilarious because all these people are rocking out to fucking Outkast and the D'Angelo and shit like that, and they have no idea. So if you want like a fun, lighthearted type of show, I would say find that on Amazon. It reminded me of it's from the same guy who did Cockroaches.
Never heard of it.
It's another British show. It takes place right after the apocalypse, and society's rebuilding. You know, it's smart. You know, like this is it's. I love British TV because they know how to get in and get out.
Yeah, man, it's short. The
Like
only thing,
6 episodes, you know, our season, boom, bang. You know,
I mean, the only thing they fucked up on so far was listening to the fans and prolonging Luther.
yeah, that last season of Luther.
Season 5, I didn't like season 4 either.
Yeah, I mean, season 4, like I stayed for season 4 just because I love the character, but season 5 was just fucking garbage.
Yeah, and they don't know if it's what's coming next is going to be another season or is it going to be a movie, because obviously they can't leave it like that. Like season 3 was the perfect ending.
Now season 3, that's the one where old boy dies, right?
His partner. Yeah. Yeah, and that was the one where he breaks up with the girl and he goes back with
Ruth.
Yeah.
Ruth Wilson.
Yeah. That should have been it, because that was originally the end of the show. Like, don't listen to fans. You know what I'm saying? Never listen to fans.
Yeah, and then they come then there's the whole entire assassination plot.
Yeah.
When the jewel heist is.
She fakes her death.
Right.
And that's what he's trying to figure out in season 4, is if she's alive or dead. And God damn.
Don't use my line because I'm going to use it I'm going to use it later.
Right, I'll leave it. So, what else have you watched?
I can't remember, man. Like, I'm so mad at Gully.
All right, well.
No, I finished Hacks, and I talked about Hacks last episode. It's the end of the season, like the last 2 episodes. It is a really good show, and it's got a really good close, and it sets up for the second season really beautifully.
Okay.
Yeah, it's absolutely fucking hilarious, but also like it kind of tugs at your heartstrings. And strong female characters, and not who are smart.
Okay.
You know, like I love, that strong female characters are taking the lead over the last couple of years in these comedies. You know, because it was always like this sort of not rumor, but like myth that women aren't funny.
Yeah,
you know,
and that's been proven so untrue in the last decade, huh?
Right, like women are funny, just not Amy Schumer.
See, her show was hilarious. I love her show, and then
I loved her stand-up. Her stand-up was hilarious.
See, you don't like it, but I think Train Wreck is fucking funny.
It was okay, but my whole entire thing with Amy Schumer is like she was so raw, right, and so unafraid when she was doing her when she was doing on tour, when she was a stand-up. But as soon as she started making that money, and like getting on TV and shit like that, it had to water down. Like she had to water it down, of course. But like I just didn't like her after that. But like I sound like the guy who's like, oh, I like that band before they were famous. I sound like that guy, but I am that guy.
All right, man. I mean, whatever. Like everybody's got their. I'm not gonna tell you you're wrong. You don't find her funny. You don't find her. She's getting on my nerves, man, for the past few years. But I mean,
Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to talk about her social media presence on here. And
So, I've watched some shit.
What'd you watch?
Let's start with the one I watched this morning. It's a documentary by Edgar Wright called The Sparks Brothers. Now, before I watched this, I was aware of Sparks because I saw them over the Coachella live stream. I was waiting to see Run the Jewels, and they're on the same stage, and I'm watching this band. I'm like, what in the fuck is this? Like, they're doing a song called Suburban Homeboy, where they're making fun of white guys in the suburb who, like, pretend to be gangster. And I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Like, you had some dude just being, like, eccentric, dancing on stage, singing. And then he had the dude with the Hitler mustache playing the piano doing like crazy eye tricks. And I'm just like, guys, why are they performing in front of this crowd? Like, what the fuck? So that always just burned into my memory. So now watching this documentary, I do have some respect for them because they're just two brothers who are just weird and who really love pop music and just decided, we're going to do our own thing. And like, they make different music each album. It's still like indie rock / pop, but like is just different. Like, it's weird. They've been making music for 5 decades, like, and that's the thing I respect about them is like they've had success,
right?
And they've had like, you know, peaks where they're like, fuck, we're gonna die, bro. But but the thing is, they never compromise. Like when the record label's like, so how are we gonna put this out? They're like, oh well, this is our record, you know. And they're like, nobody's gonna listen to this, and he's like, well, take it or leave it. They never compromise. Like they even said they could have sold out so many times, and they didn't.
You know, like, and I admire that. I admire artists in general who just embrace their own weird. I'm not that person. I am a sellout. I want to be the guy who gets invited on the yacht with the beer. And I want to be like Steven Soderbergh. I'll do one for me and I'll do 3 for you. Yeah.
I mean, it depends on the project. You know what I mean? Like if I can make $20 million and somebody's like, here, Brandon, make a Barbie movie, and I know I could freak the fuck out of that Barbie movie, yeah, I'll do it. But if I can't, then I'm just gonna be like, I can't sell my soul right now. But,
you know who I would like to see make a Barbie movie?
Who?
Zack Snyder.
All right, so back to the Sparks Brothers. Yeah, this is an Edgar Wright movie through and through. It's entertaining. It's too long. It's 2 hours and 20 minutes. Has a lot of people in it, like Todd Rundgren's in it. Even Todd Rundgren says, like, the fact that these dudes are still around and still playing festivals and still selling out shows that, like, you know, you just got to be authentic and be you. And that's what I respect about them. They're weird, like David Byrne's weird, and I love David Byrne. Right. But their music's not for me. After watching this documentary, I completely understand why Flea was being interviewed and he loves them, why Edgar himself was interviewing himself, talking about Sparks. I understand why Patton Oswalt was in this, talking about them. Understand why Scott Aukerman was talking about them in the documentary. Like they had like notable people in this documentary, and they worked with Giorgio Moroder on a song.
Really?
No, seriously, not a song, a whole album. Like he produced a whole fucking album of theirs.
Really? Okay, now you have my interest.
Because they heard the song Donna Summer's "I Feel Love," and
right.
like they're like, "What the fuck is this?" And like, of course, everybody, you know what I mean. I wasn't doing cocaine in Studio 54 when I first heard that, but you heard it and you're just like, "What the fuck? This shit is," you know, start doing the shimmy and shit.
There's some songs that
just
like you will play them 100 years from now, and it's like, this slaps.
Yo, like, can you like? I clearly understand why Daft Punk made that last album when you listen to that, because that last album sounds exactly like that song. That song,
right? It's I mean, honestly, Daft Punk is just, I mean, it's essentially a Giorgio Moroder cover band. You know, like they big influences. Like Giorgio Moroder is a big influence.
On Daft Punk, but yeah. And I will say, house music wouldn't exist without Daft Punk.
Right.
But yeah. They made a whole album with him. They made a whole album with produced by Todd Rundgren. Like they've been around, and they made a whole album with Franz Ferdinand.
I had forgotten all about Franz Ferdinand.
Yeah, man. See, and like these dudes, and they're still doing it. They put out an album last year during the pandemic, and they're touring now. You know,
I'd never heard of Sparks before you had talked about this documentary. And maybe I'll check out their shit.
Shout out to Edgar Wright. You know what I mean? Yeah, I respect them. It's not for me, but I get why people love them. The documentary drops this weekend. It comes out Friday, June 18th. So
theaters or
I think it's just theaters. I'm not sure if it's getting a hybrid release, but definitely worth checking out. Let's move on to the next thing I saw, which was M Night. You guys are getting a lot of early stuff this episode. Yeah. So anyways, M Night Shyamalan, his new joint that doesn't come out for like another month and a half. Old. Yeah.
That's all you gotta say.
It's good. Like, it's much better than I thought it'd be.
Is it good, or is it good for like?
It's good for what it is. Is what I'm saying. It's based off a graphic novel.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that till the end credits. He's working with a different DP than he did on Split and Glass. This movie's basically done. The only thing they got to do is just fix some of the sound mixing and then the color timing, which, you know, that shit takes a week.
Right.
Man, I want to... That's the thing. The sound mixing in this is so dynamic and so good where you have to see it in a theater because, like, that's part of what makes the movie so effective of what it does. But at the same time, I'm just like, you could probably, if you have a good sound system at home, you could just rent this shit for like $6. Like, but my thing is too is how the fuck did this get PG-13? Because this is a fucking, it's gnarly, man. Like.
But I mean, is it gnarly or is it like? I don't know how the rating system works anymore.
Yeah, this movie should have been rated R because I'm watching this and I'm just like, bro, the shit that you guys are doing in this movie is just fucked up on so many levels. Like, they do an impromptu surgery, and part of the thing about the beach is that it heals you, and that's why you age faster. Is that you heal? So they keep cutting this bitch open.
Right.
She keeps healing up to the point.
Shit.
Where the dude's husband is, and another dude there, he's like, all right, we're gonna have to stick our hands in the wound. So they cut them open and just they stick their hand in there, and like as they're doing that, another hand goes in to cut out because she's dying from cancer. They're cutting out the cyst, and you see them pull out the fucking cyst, the tumor, and the tumor is, no lie, Jeff, the size of a fucking milk carton. And they show it in everything. I'm just like, bro, how is this movie PG-13? I was like, what?
Because they don't say fuck.
No, they do once. They drop it once.
They drop the fuck once?
And you see it. You see an ass. A woman's trying to tempt a rapper who's also on the beach before the other people get there. She's trying to tempt a rapper and she takes off her clothes. You see her ass. And you almost see her tits as she jumps into the water.
Man, how is that? Like, are we getting back to the 80s now?
I don't know, man.
We're like...
I don't know, because this is... One of the things that makes me I cannot recommend it is just because, and I don't want to give it away because this is pretty fucked up and you should see it for the movie, but everything that has to do with a baby that happens, everything, like that whole fucking 10-minute stretch, I'm like, this is the most fucked up shit I've ever seen in a major motion picture.
Yo. All right, so you're kind of selling me on this. Like, this sounds like...
Because the thing that makes it fucked up is like, we just seen these two characters as fucking 6-year-olds, and now we're seeing them as like 15-year-olds, and it's just like, this is fucked up. All right, first off, that's fucked up, and then the baby comes, and then you see what happens with the baby. You're just like, bro, seriously, what the fuck? I was like, who the fuck thinks of this shit?
Hey, good for M. Night. Fucking yeah, good for him. Yo, changing lanes.
I mean, not to spoil anything, but just so you guys have your expectations in check, they do not explain the supernatural phenomena of the beach.
But that's fine.
Okay.
That's like I don't...
You get the whole... By the time the movie ends, you get the whole situation and how they ended up there and why they're there.
Right.
But you don't understand how the beach works. And it ends on a perfect line where they're like, are there more places like this in the world? And everybody just stops and stares at each other like, oh, fuck.
Yeah, so like I don't need an explanation. You know, sometimes I just want to be in a situation.
Right.
You know, so I'm fine with that. So like when I first saw the trailer for Old, I was like, all right, well, M. Night, I don't like you anymore. I can't trust you anymore, man. You broke my heart too many times.
Oh man, especially with fucking Glass. Like that felt to me like somebody just holding me down and I was getting just gutted.
Like waterboarded, you know? So if you're watching this and you're telling me that Old is at least worth a watch.
I mean, motherfuckers stood up and clapped once the shit was done.
They were just happy to be outside the house, man.
They seem to enjoy it.
All right. You know what? I'll give it a chance. Maybe he's back on track.
Well, the one thing I will watch this again for is if I'm ever making a movie, he's back to his shot, how he used to shoot shit, like his Spielberg shit, where the way he's moving the camera and the way shit is framed. I was just like, some of the shit, the way you frame it and the way the camera moves is just beautiful. And then like, as we move on, some of the shit is deliberate to
and effective
Right.
in the way it's shot and framed for reveals or the atmosphere that he's building.
Because he hasn't like you said, he hasn't been on that Spielberg shit since Signs.
Well, to me it was Split. Like some of the way the people were entering,
you know what, right? You know what,
in and out of frame.
All right, so it stopped at Signs. Like Signs was the last one, and
Right.
then like whatever, and then Split. There's like, that's why it didn't seem like a M. Night movie, because he went back to
his old style. Yeah,
Right.
like I just remember Casey there was a shot of Casey locked in the room. The other girl came in the frame, was talking to her, finally ducked down so you could see her face in the frame, got up, still holding on Casey. She walked into the bathroom in the background, and she came back out of the bathroom. I'm just like, where the fuck has this M. Night been? And then to get the final reveal on top of that, like, yeah, man. And then none of that was in Glass. Literally none of that. Like,
yeah. All right, so I'm glad he's actually back to being a filmmaker instead of whatever he's been. Like
he still puts himself in this though.
Of course. I mean, you know what, you expect that.
It's a minor role, but it's still substantial.
That's fine. Like if that's the one thing, that's the one holdover from all of the or we call it the Shyamalan-verse.
No.
But like, if that's the one thing for those of you who don't realize, M. Night puts himself in literally every movie he's directed.
Yeah.
It's either a big role or a small role. Like even in Unbreakable, he was the security guard, right?
He was the stadium drug dealer, and then he popped up again in Split as a super, and then you find out in Glass those were the same fucking characters, which makes sense. He's like, yeah, I really turned my life around and became a super now, and I was just like, oh, all right, that's cool. That's a cool little connection to connect, the first two movies.
Yeah, I mean, those were small but pivotal parts of those movies. But like in Lady in the Water, he's in the whole entire fucking thing, isn't he?
Yeah, he's basically like a supporting character.
Yeah.
But I want to give a shout out to the cast, because the cast killed it. Shout out to Gail Garcia Bernal. Shout out to Vicky Krieps. They're the two married couple with their kids.
Right.
Their kids are very young, but then when they start to grow up, Alex Wolff is the teenager. And shout out to Alex Wolff. He's been killing it and shit, especially Hereditary.
Oh, okay.
That
That's
kid.
Right.
Yeah, because Trent is the name of the kid. And wait a minute, who was the daughter? Maddox. Oh, yeah. So Thomasin McKenzie. Now I've seen her in shit before, but now I see why she's getting so much burn. Thomasin McKenzie is the girl who's going to be the lead in Last Night in Soho.
Okay.
So she killed it. She's in this. And shout out to Eliza Scanlon. She's been in shit. Also shout out to Ken Leung. He's in this. Nika Amika Bird. She's a British actress. She's a black British actress. You've seen her and shit. Like once you see the film, you'll be like, oh, her.
Right.
And Abby Lee's in this. Abby Lee was
Who's Abby Lee?
She was in Lovecraft Country as the one white girl, and she was also in Mad Max Fury Road.
Oh yeah,
she
was like, wasn't she Precious or something like that in Mad Max? And she was in Lovecraft Country. She was the evil white chick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So she's in this, and Rufus Sewell is fucking killing it in this, like killing it. But I also want to say, M. Night needs to stop portraying mental illness in the way he does, because he's doing some shit with a schizophrenic character in this where I'm just like, man, you got to stop with that, because eventually people are going to come after you, and the way you're doing it is kind of exploitive to make the character the bad guy.
And going back to Gully, which I hate to do,
right?
That's also a problem I had with it, is the way they portrayed mental illness, because it was just like just like sexuality, just like personality, there are shades to the shit, and you don't have to go full on Robin Williams manic crazy to portray someone who's schizophrenic.
Yeah, man. I would like to say another what have I watched lately? Fucking had to sit through Spirit Untamed, and I fell asleep.
Well, that's the horse one you're talking about, right?
The one I talked about last week.
Yeah.
We did a camp day at work,
right?
And that was part of the activity for camp day. And little did I know till we got to the theater, I'm like, all right, I guess we're seeing like Raya and the Last Dragon or something, you know what I mean? Not that. They're like, no, we got a special deal on Spirit Untamed. And I was like, well,
a special deal.
I was just like, because it was a private screening for us. And I was just like, kids, who needs to use the bathroom? None of you? Okay, cool. Bother the other people, the other teachers and counselors. Mr. Brandon is gonna get himself comfortable
and take a nap.
Take a nap, and that's exactly what I fucking did.
So yeah, we pretty much went into it. Last week,
episode 7, guys. Also, go back and listen to episode 4 because I did an early review of In the Heights, and In the Heights came out this past weekend, and I'm disappointed none of you fuckers went to go see it. Like, that is a fucking good movie.
Well, they didn't go to see it, but like, what are the streaming numbers?
I don't know.
See, maybe the streaming numbers tell a different tale.
Hopefully, that's why we're getting a Cruella too.
Yeah.
Hopefully. Also, shout out to everybody who bought fucking tickets for Black Widow because that shit is basically sold out everywhere. That shit's crazy.
They're not doing a release on.
Oh, they're doing a hybrid.
Oh, doing a hybrid.
They're doing Disney Plus and theaters, but I guess that's one people are like, fuck this. We're going to go see this shit in theaters.
Right. It's a big movie.
And again, I get it. If I had a wife and kids, I'd probably, for that one, I'd go see it in the theater. I'd be like, fuck it, baby. You got to go halvesy on me with this. But like Cruella, if I had a family, I'd be like, yeah, fuck it. We'll just pay the $30 on Disney Plus.
Because it's cheaper that way.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
But speaking of Marvel, are we going to talk about Loki?
Okay, we'll talk about the first episode. We'll kick it off with the first episode, and then we'll talk about the rest of the show when it's done.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really digging this show.
Same.
Yo, it's got Terry Gilliam, fucking Time Bandits, Brazil vibes to it, and I'm fucking loving it.
Tell me how this is the best looking shit that Marvel's put out in a minute.
It looks like they spent some money, right? The production design is crazy.
But I mean, it doesn't look like the in-house Marvel look, if you know what I mean.
Right.
Like, how the fuck because that's what their main complaint that's always lobbied against is like their shit always looks like a TV show. And this is the first one where I'm like, yo, this shit looks like a movie, not a TV show. Like, it looks good.
Yeah, like they use anamorphic lenses on it. Like, it's got scope, it's got scale to it. And Tom Hiddleston
is killing it.
Yo, when he sees himself like die.
Oh yeah, and he starts crying.
Yo, that's fucking heartbreaking. Yo,
no.
See, like when he sees the Infinity Stones. Yeah, man, it's
good though. But
well acted.
I will say this is like Falcon and Winter Soldier for me. I didn't really care about Bucky till that show.
Right.
I didn't really give a fuck about Loki till this show. Right. So this is actually making me care about Loki.
Right.
So
I'm calling it right now.
They're getting a second season.
Oh yeah. So I'm calling it right now. All right. So this is my prediction because everyone on the internet has a prediction about these fucking Marvel shows. So the variant Loki that's doing all the dirty shit.
Yeah,
right?
he's supposed to be erased because they fixed the timeline.
Right. So what's going to happen now? Like, because he's attacking all of the Minutemen, right? He's stealing all of the reset charges. So he's going to probably blow up the TVA, right? Just blow up the sacred timeline. That's going to lead into
Doctor Strange
and the Multiverse of Madness.
Well, don't forget we still have a Spider-Man movie that's gonna fuck with the multiverse too.
Right,
that comes out because Doctor Strange, because you know how these Spider-Man movies had a mentor. Iron Man was the mentor in Homecoming.
Right.
Nick Fury and Maria Hill were the mentors in Far From Home, and now Doctor Strange is going to be the mentor in No Way Home, and this is also supposedly why Jamie Foxx is Electro in this, why Alfred Molina is Doc Ock, because it's the multiverse shit.
Right.
So Marvel's really putting their chips in this multiverse because we've had the multiverse in WandaVision been teased. It has been teased.
Right.
This now, like they come out and say it like within the first 5 minutes, like, hey, there's a multiverse and these guys are trying to keep the main universe intact or else there'll be another multiverse war and we can't have that shit. We got Spider-Man, which is how Daredevil's going to come in.
Oh, they're bringing Daredevil into this now?
The multiverse.
All right.
Because they consider that two different. I love Kevin Feige. He's like, yeah, that shit ain't part of ours. And then he's like, oh, multiverse, we'll pull the best thing from it.
Right.
So it still ain't part of our shit, though.
Man, I wish they'd bring in the Punisher though, man.
Yeah, me too.
Sean Barefoot.
Who knows? Who knows, man?
Yeah,
Anything's possible now. So yeah, Doctor Strange, Into the Multiverse of Madness. I'm going to see that one on 68th and Broadway.
Oh yeah, and I will do an edible with you for that one.
Oh, if they do the double feature where you can see 1 and 2 in IMAX 3D, because that's still one of my. I don't like 3D, but that's still one of my favorite movies to watch in IMAX 3D. Is because they opened up, the aspect ratio. That's still one of my favorite movies to watch in IMAX 3D is the first Doctor Strange. So if they do that double feature, or you're like, oh yeah, see both in IMAX 3D, I would be like,
your eyes are gonna bleed.
Oh yeah, because I'm eating like at least 4, like 4 edibles. Like I'm calling out of work that day. I'm calling out of work the next day. I'm gonna be waking up in a Central Park bench naked.
Hey man, it's a Saturday. It's a regular Saturday for me, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, man. I'm. Hopefully Sam Raimi knocks it out the park.
If anyone can do this sort of weird, it's Sam Raimi.
Man, it's sad that Scott Derrickson and Marvel parted ways because I do like Scott Derrickson, but hey, they didn't get no slouch to replace him, and you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, all right, man. Like, yeah.
All right, so that's Loki. That's our Marvel talk for the day.
Shout out to everybody still messaging me about Demon Slayer and saying how dope. Yeah. Everybody's making their way through it. I'm still making my way slowly through Naruto.
All right, man. I'm not there yet. Yeah.
I'm gonna restart Avatar: The Last Airbender because that was a dope show before Shyamalan just. Yeah, defecated on that whole.
I forgot about that one.
Man, he defecated on that. Like,
that's still better than After Earth.
Here's my thing. How the fuck do you fuck up a easy bag like that? All you have to do is just translate that, and he managed to just even the pronunciation. How they say Avatar, they say Avatar. Like, how do you fumble the bag that hard, dude? Like. Anybody I don't get it. I really don't, man.
I sometimes it's better just to just let it go and not think about it, because if you think about it, then you thought about it, and when you thought about it, your fucking brain will explode.
That's true. All right. Well, I'm rewatching Avatar just so I could get to the sequel series, The Legend of Korra, because these guys are coming back for Paramount Plus and doing shit. Because Paramount's resurrecting all their stuff, and so far, after Rugrats, you know what? Then they're getting the original creators of Avatar back. Right. I'll give this a shot. And speaking of, over the weekend,
fuck this.
There's some little more news before we get into ill-advised cinema. Or no, we got trailers.
That's right.
A little news. Production stills leaked from the Halo show. And they spent a fucking grip on this motherfucker. Holy shit.
I still haven't seen those stills.
Let me see if I could forward them to you real quick.
Pull them up real
because my thing is, looking at these stills, I'm like, you guys spent all this fucking money on this show, but then you didn't want to give Steven Spielberg, Peter Jackson, Neil Blomkamp the money to make the fucking movie, and the movie would have made you probably billions,
because they didn't want to spend that kind of fucking money, man. Like, because you're not having Spielberg, Blomkamp, and Jackson involved, and you're not spend like $600 million.
But they would have made that shit back, dude.
Yeah, but fucking people are like they're not about the long money, they're about the short money, and they thought they could cheap it out. I'm looking at some of these stills right now. Shit looks fucking decent.
Okay, so you found them.
Yeah,
man. I told you.
Yeah, they spent money.
Fucking money, man. You see what I'm saying? Like, I looked at that shit. I was like, what the fuck?
This is a bankrupter. Like if they don't hit it out of the park with this, it's a bankrupter.
Cause even the that is a practical suit for Master Chief.
Yeah, like I'm looking at the stills. Everything is practical.
Like even the Covenant, that's what the name of the aliens are. Like, dude, look at that shit.
Yeah. So here's the thing. It's guaranteed to make so much money because the built-in fan base for the Halo game series. How many games are there now?
Too many. I stopped playing. Like, I haven't even played Halo 4 or 5.
Yeah, like it stopped at Halo 3 for me because that's the last time I had an Xbox.
Yep, same.
You know,
same. I wanted to get an Xbox Series S, but how the fuck are you gonna make a console that has no disk drive, which is fine, but you're only going to put 500 gigs in there? That's only good for like 3 or 4 games.
So that means you have to buy their special edition add-on hard drive. Man.
Yeah,
like, you know how the game works, man.
That shit suck my dick. That's why I'm enjoying my PlayStation right now.
That's why, Call of Duty, you get to play as Rambo or John McClane if you pay an extra $30.
Yeah,
on top of the $70 you already paid for the fucking game.
Fucking that shit is like 100 gigs.
Yeah,
all them Call of Duty games are huge.
Yeah. All right, let's move on.
All right, so trailer talk. Werewolves Within.
Okay, so I had no idea what this was. Like you sent me the trailer, and I saw like Ubisoft. Was it Ubisoft or Ubisoft?
Something like that.
Productions, whatever, like that. It was like the game company, right? And so I'm watching the trailer, and the trailer is funny as fuck. It looks like it's going to be a fun werewolf whodunit kind of movie. And then I did a little research, like how is Ubisoft involved in this? And so this movie is based on a game, it's sort of like the game is sort of like Among Us, where it's a group of people. It's a social game where you try to figure out who's the werewolf.
Yeah,
and I'm into that type of shit.
It looks, and the thing is, it has a sense of humor. Like, it looks legit funny.
Yeah,
because Sam Richardson and Milana Weintraub are the stars, and they're two pretty solid comedians.
Right. So I'm really like, this went from like I didn't know it existed to like one of my most anticipated, at least not indie, but like low budget.
Yeah.
Not blockbuster movies.
Yeah.
It's not a prestige flick. It's not a Marvel movie or a DC movie. It's just, hopefully it's just like a well-constructed
genre pick.
Horror comedy.
Yeah, man.
And I love horror comedies.
Yeah. So, Werewolves Within, The Eyes of Tammy Faye.
I didn't get a chance to watch that.
All right. It looks pretty good. I did not know this was a remake, and I also did not know that this was based on a true story.
Well, Tammy Faye Baker. I know about Tammy Faye Baker, but
yeah, I have no fucking clue. Yeah, man, I don't know about televangelists.
I'm old, man.
Or you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know this was a whole thing about them, her husband like defrauding motherfuckers and shit like that, and her being a little more progressive. Yeah, I didn't know this shit.
Yeah. So who's starring in it?
Jessica Chastain and Andrew Garfield, and holy shit, dude. They do not look like their glamorous selves. The two prettiest people in the world, and you guys made them look like exactly who they're supposed to be playing.
So they're going for the Oscar. They're trying to get the Charlize Theron award.
And that's the thing. You could tell this is a prestige movie, but like not the type of prestige movie where you're just like, we gotta sit through this shit.
No, it's gonna be like an I, Tonya sort of prestige film.
Yeah, where yeah, man, this shit actually looks like some shit I want to see.
Right.
So that's The Eyes of Tammy Faye, and then we'll have a Netflix one called Tick Tick Boom, directed by Lin-Manuel. Again, the year of 2020-21 is musicals and Zack Snyder. So this is a Netflix musical. Andrew Garfield's in it.
I mean,
it's just a teaser. Yeah, it wasn't. God damn, man. I don't know. This looks. I'm just kind of disappointed. Lynn, you usually deliver something a little more than that.
Like that. I hear there's a lot of backlash on Lin-Manuel, just because people appreciate his writing, his musical prowess, but his performing has always been lackluster. That's what I'm hearing, and so I think now we're going to be on the we're going to get to that point of saturation where people are going to be like, fuck Lin-Manuel.
I mean, homeboy's taking a back seat, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's behind the camera.
I mean, good for him. Like I said, it's a musical. I don't, I'll watch a musical.
It's on Netflix.
Yeah, I mean.
So,
But I got nothing to say about that. You know, it's a fucking musical. You know, singing and dancing.
Well,
people love singing and dancing.
Let's move into highly ill-advised cinema. There, like we said in episode 7, there's a reason why the trailer came out a week before this dropped. There's also a reason why they suddenly pulled this from theaters and shoved it on Paramount Plus 3 weeks ago.
Infinite.
Yes, Infinite, starring Mark Wahlberg, directed by Antoine Fuqua, and holy shit.
So I watched this before you did. I watched this on Friday. You gave me your Paramount Plus login. And I was live tweeting this bullshit to you to try to save you from watching it, but I know you had to watch it. So this whole entire movie reminds me of that scene from Jackie Brown where Samuel L. Jackson is in the car with Robert De Niro, and Samuel just looks at Robert De Niro and he goes, "What happened to you, man? Your ass used to be beautiful." And I feel that way about Antoine Fuqua. Like, what happened to you, dude?
Every choice here was just fundamentally wrong. Like, fundamentally. From like, it's based off a book, and I feel like the book, it seems like there was a lot of cool stuff that was probably in the book that wasn't in this movie. So I'll read the book. It's like the same thing with Old, where I'm like, it seems like the material this shit is based on is better than what the adaptation is.
Well, I read the description for the book, and the book seemed like a thoughtful meditation on like reincarnation.
Yeah.
And this is just like,
see? My spider sense was right.
yeah. All right, so I even wrote, I watched this and I made notes, all right? So my first note on this motherfucker is, not even 3 minutes, not even 3 seconds in, do you get the most lackluster fucking voiceover ever.
Holy shit, Mark Wahlberg put no heart in that
It's like they gave him the script right then and there.
Like,
read this shit.
No direction at all. They were just read.
Right. And like the narration, you didn't need, because they explained the shit later in the movie. So like, you know, the whole entire thing about discovering a world, you know, and letting the story tell itself, they were like, no, fuck that. Tell them all what it is in the first 3 seconds. And it was fucking, all right, so there have only been 5 good voiceovers in cinematic history, and 4 of them were Goodfellas. You know? This wasn't it. Man, it was so fucking, it was joyless. It was fucking, the narration was joyless.
Bro, Mark Wahlberg just sounded like he woke up.
Right. like it sounded like a Zoom. It was like they did the narration from a Zoom conference.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Like I can't imagine that was in the script. That seemed like a studio, like, oh, this thing's too smart for people. Let's put the narration.
My perfect thing I can compare it to is if you've ever seen the theatrical version of Blade Runner. they made Harrison Ford do a voiceover for that. And you can hear it in that motherfucker's voice where he's just like, I don't want to say this shit. What the fuck? And there's one part where he has to say nigger. And you could just hear it in his voice, like, why the fuck are you making me say this shit? This is so bad. Like, I remember hearing an outtake, it's on YouTube, where he turns to somebody, he's like, I'm really saying this shit?
Oh, all right. So everybody, you've got to look up
the theatrical version of Blade Runner and listen to that voiceover. And if you want to hear, like, uninspired and just joyless and just somebody who is pissed at the whole situation, that is Harrison Ford reading that fucking voiceover.
But back to this fucking piece of flaming dog
shit. Holy shit.
So it's supposed to take place, well, part of it's supposed to take place in New York City. And
it doesn't. It
like,
looks like,
look, nigga, I know what Toronto looks like.
Yeah, exactly. That shit looked like, I said that to Trey the whole time. I was like, dude, this looks like some city in Canada. It looks like Vancouver. Like, it doesn't, like, I go to New York almost every fucking day. I know what that city Looks like the back of my hand.
Like I went to school there. I go there often.
I lived there for a year.
It's got a fucking vibe to it.
Yeah,
baby.
man.
Like that's.
Like I lived in Harlem, man. Like I know what shit looks like.
I know what Canada looks like, motherfucker.
Get the fuck out of here.
And what the fuck? All right, so
I expected the Flash to run around the corner because they film all those CW shows in the same spots.
And let's talk about like this is supposed to be like a secret organization, right? Right? The Infinites. You know, like we've been around. It's a secret organization. Everything they have has the infinity symbol on it. It is the worst secret organization ever. They got fucking branded airplanes. They got the fucking Infinites mobile. Like what's with the fucking car? The
fucking steering wheel and brakes and the gas switches sides between the passenger and the driver because at this point this shit is Transformers level stupid.
Right.
Like when that shit did that, I turned to try. I was like, holy shit.
That wasn't even that didn't even do it for me. Is when she like crashed through the interrogation room in an armored plated fucking Aston Martin.
How did they not hear the engine revving?
Right.
And I was just thinking about that. They shouldn't have because they said because he's screaming help, help, and Chiwetel's like nobody can hear you. This is an aluminum tight plate room, and then you hear very faintly the of the car. I was like, wait a minute, this nigga just said they can't hear nothing. How you could hear a car? It just crashes, and then he just randomly 2 seconds later finds a armored truck.
Right.
I was like, how do you find a truck that fast? An armored truck.
And then like the car automatically just has this bomb on it that just blows up a block. This is like we're not making this up. This is the fucking movie. This is the fucking movie we're talking about.
Yo, real quick, we'll come back to the end, but I gotta say this: in the end, where the nigga jumps out of the plane, right, and tries to disarm the bomb, and then the next thing you see is Chiwetel jumps out too.
Right.
I was like, wait, what the fuck?
Yo, let's talk about how like, all right, so Marky Mark's character is supposed to be like the best of the best Infinites, and he is so powerful. Like he's so in tune with whatever bullshit, mystic, whatever, that he can affect the world around him. All right. And his only superpower, the only magical thing he can conjure is being able to stand up in the wind.
Yeah, because the car was going fast. I was just like, wait, I still don't understand what was going on.
I don't understand what his power is.
Was he accessing the time stream and that's how he could do the shit he could do?
I don't know, man.
I thought
he was projecting his body because like he was able to stand up on the plane that was crashing.
Because he had that flashback and he did the same thing that he was doing in the car.
But they don't explain what the fucking power is. It's just like, all right, I can jump out of a car and I can stand up on a plane.
Yo, speaking of, how about when they fucking he takes the bike onto the plane? How stupid that shit is.
Yeah, man.
That shit was insane. That was the most insane shit I've ever seen. I was like, get the fuck out.
That was some Wolverine origins, killing a helicopter with a motorcycle type dumb.
Yeah, that was Die Hard 4 dumb.
Yo, let's talk about like so the main consensus, the main threat of this fucking movie is that they have this secret weapon called the egg.
Yeah, and it's a literal egg.
It's an egg. It's an ornate egg that will destroy all life on Earth. How is it that it looked exactly like the fucking snap?
Yeah.
Like when they did the flash forward to what this thing is going to do.
Yeah.
It's exactly the snap.
Like Thanos' plan in Avengers. Yeah.
Right. So, all right.
Mark Wahlberg was really miscast in this shit, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I mean, holy shit. Can we talk about something my brother brought up? Because I thought about it. Is how does every Infinite start off as a person of color, right? And then you get to the two timelines where they're most prevalent, they're white. And then when everybody dies in this movie, at the end of this timeline, they go back to being people of color. Like, how fucked up is that?
Man, they didn't even like. I don't even know if they thought that hard about it. You know, like it's just everything they could have done wrong, they did wrong. Like the only person who knew what movie they were making was Chatwell. Well, how pronounce it?
Chiwetel Ejiofor.
He was chewing scenery like he was at a Chinese buffet.
Yeah, but my man needs a new agent, man.
He needs a new agent.
The movies, like I like the Old Guard, but the Old Guard is fucking similar to this.
Right, it's the Old Guard. It was the fucking
Assassin's Creed.
It was Altered Carbon.
Highlander.
Right, it's everything but worse.
Yeah.
Right. And what this movie reminded me of with him is, you know how that scene in Billy Madison where the one kid pees his pants and Billy's like, "Hey, I pee my pants too. All the cool kids pee their pants." Remember that scene?
Yeah.
That's what him in this movie reminds me of. Like, he realizes it's such a piece of shit, so he went so big in order to like distract from how bad the rest of the movie is.
I'm glad you enjoyed Chiwetel because I didn't. I thought he was just
like, no, he was bad. No, it was bad, but he knew he was bad.
Well,
he knew it.
I'll tell you the one person I did enjoy in this movie, and that was Jason Mantzoukas, because Jason he didn't give a fuck. Right? My man just didn't give a fuck. Yo, he was funny.
He was miscast. Like, he was totally miscast.
Oh yeah, but he's having the time of his life, man.
Like, he knew. It was like, all right, I'm getting paid for this.
Yeah,
and I'm going to do it.
Yeah, man.
And like, I will watch anything Jason Mantzoukas.
Oh yeah,
you know, like
he's in that HBO Max show. It's a cartoon show, and I remember him popping up. I'm like, damn, even his character looks like him.
Right. I think it's in his contract.
It's like Another Year or Another Round, something like that. It's from the creator of the regular show about two people in their 30s trying to raise a kid. And it's exactly like that, because I'd be like, oh yeah, if I was a parent right now, I'd do the same shit. I'd do the same fucking shit.
Yeah, but like Jason Mantzoukas, he looked like he was having at least fun.
Yeah.
But he didn't look like he was trying.
Oh no, my man's knew. He knew too what movie he was in. He's like, yo, I'm here to cash out, man. And you know what? Like, if this ends up being a hit on Paramount Plus and it gets a sequel,
there's no way it can be a hit, man. There's no way it can be a hit.
Make the whole movie about Jason Mantzoukas.
Oh fuck, man! Like,
I understand after watching this why they pulled this from the theater and shoved it immediately on Paramount Plus, because they want this shit to die quickly.
Look, they would have lost money putting it in the theaters. At least this way, someone might accidentally stumble across it and watch it.
Like, you know, if I was the head of Paramount and I saw the first cut of this, and I would walk out, I'd be like, Antoine, give me a minute. Mark, give me a minute. I'd walk out, I'd go to the shareholders and just be like, yikes. That's all I can say is yikes.
But like, who, like someone from the script, I want to read the original script. Yo, I want to see
how bad the original script was.
Right, because like the script was written by the dude who did Splinter, who wrote Splinter. And Splinter, if you don't know, is one of the best modern body horror movies. You know, it's some like The Thing level body horror, right? And it's an effective little small thriller. None of the talent none of the potential that I saw in that movie is in this movie.
Oh yeah,
when it comes to the writing.
Yeah. So my thing is too, because we talked about this a little bit. Why the fuck would you keep, like, one of the best fight sequences we don't even get to see in full, because they, instead of deciding to show it to us at the beginning of the fucking movie, they decide to show it to us in flashbacks, fractured ones at that. So you only get to see pieces of it, not even the full fucking fight. Like, you could cut, they do understand, it's okay to flash back to what we already saw.
Right.
Like, that's visual language. That's how it works in real life. Like, they did understand it's okay to show us shit we've already seen.
But it was just needless. Like, the editing is horrible. It's needlessly confusing. Like, I want to see the original cut where they cut it like this. Like, they had to have an original cut where they were like, oh shit, we need to salvage this, and they recut it. So this is the recut.
So you think it's worse than this?
I think it's worse than this.
I don't see how that's possible, to be honest.
There's always a worse, baby. There's got to be a, like, because this couldn't have been the first pass. They couldn't have released it like this. There had to be a worse movie.
I don't think they tested this, to be honest with you.
I mean, they couldn't. How could they test it?
My question is, what the fuck are they doing? Like, Paramount, as a studio, what are you doing right now? Like, the only things you guys got going for you are like Mission Impossible and Quiet Place, and that's like it. Like, even G.I. Joe's questionable. Nobody likes Transformers. Like,
I mean, they got Star Wars. Oh, Star Trek.
They don't know what the fuck to do with that, or else we'd have a fourth movie by now. You know, there was a script written by Noah Hawley, didn't get made. There was a script that Tarantino didn't get made. There was another script by somebody else who was notable, didn't get made. I'm like, guys, you have the perfect cast. These movies make money.
Right.
Why can't you get it together? Like, any of those scripts. Oh, the dude who wrote The Revenant wrote a script.
Okay.
All these scripts, and I'm just like, you guys are saying no.
I mean, Chris Pine is like 60 right now.
Yeah,
like,
man.
you don't have that much time with him before he starts looking his age.
And the thing is, they all said they want to make one final movie.
Yeah.
Just as another memory for Antoine, and they like working with each other. Like, they still got, like, to me, we still got like 3 more left, but if we can squeeze at least one more out, like one more.
I like the reboots. I'm a Star Trek fan, do or die. Like Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, all that shit, even Voyager. But I really like the rebooted movies.
Yeah, because if it wasn't for these movies, I wouldn't really be into Star Trek.
Yeah, so Paramount, get your shit together.
Yeah, man, just as a company, y'all suck, man.
And Antoine Fuqua, do better, baby.
Yeah.
Like, I know you got it in you, man.
Fuck.
Like, I know you got it in you. What were you? What happened?
Dude, you got a motherfucker with a samurai sword, and I love anything with samurai play and that shit. And y'all made that lame, like lame as fuck. Yeah, it was so dumb. Like, the whole shit. I don't know how you fuck up samurais, man, but y'all fucked up samurais. Samurais are always the best part of some shit. Like, come on, man.
It wasn't even a fucking sword fight. It wasn't even like it was just.
Cause come on, man, people don't like Matrix 2, but everybody talks about Morpheus and the fucking katana wielding the Mac-10 at the same time. He used that shit to blow up a fucking truck. You know how that's a dream of mine to use a katana and a Mac-10 at the same fucking time.
Yeah. So
he had a whole fucking fight on a moving truck with the fucking katana, and that was still much better than anything in this shit.
Yeah, this is straight garbage. This is the definition of ill-advised cinema.
Yeah. So let's Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard.
Yo,
was not looking forward to this. I did not like the first movie, but this one is fucking hilarious.
Yo, so the Hitman Wife's Bodyguard is so surprisingly good.
Yeah.
For what it is. Like, I mean, it's not winning any awards, but for like the chemistry's there, the comedy's there, the action's on point. Like, the story is whatever.
There is no story.
Right? It's just excuses to get from one set piece to another, and I'm fine with that.
It's literally a sequence of events.
Right. You know? But like, it's just hilarious. And shout out to Selma Hayek and her filthy fucking mouth.
Oh, bro, we're vulgar on this show. We don't even come close to touching what Salma Hayek says in this fucking movie.
And I hope all of her lines were ad-libbed, because if all of her lines were ad-libbed, that's a chick I want to have. I want to drink tequila with Selma Hayek and go on adventures, because I have never heard the term pussy tube before. Selma Hayek. I repeat, Selma Hayek goes into a diatribe where she talks about her pussy tube and how tight her pussy tube is.
But let's not forget the other fucking funny part of the movie with the way Ryan Reynolds' mom's died.
I will never look at gelato the same way again.
Yo, I just love the one line by Morgan Freeman. I don't know why a 380-pound man would get on a parachute ride. What prompted him to get on? But he did.
So, like, yeah, it looks like everything they took lessons from the first one. The first one was like an enjoyable action romp. It wasn't smart, but it was just Samuel Jackson and Ryan Reynolds being Samuel Jackson and Ryan Reynolds. All right. But this one kind of ups the ante.
Yeah.
And they add Selma Hayek, who is the MV fucking P.
Yeah, well, she needs to be in more movies. Also, what made it cool was they kind of neutered Ryan Reynolds' character. So it was funny watching a broken man just like be thrust with two absolute psychos.
Right.
And be taken advantage. They fucking give him lithium.
I love, like, he's the straight man. I love how Ryan Reynolds makes a great straight man.
And he was still funny.
Right? I mean, I can't say enough about this movie. If you want, like, if you spent money to go see this, if you spent like $14, you're not going to be disappointed. And that's all you can really ask for in this day and age. Like, going to this shit, like, everybody's chewing up the scenery, but it's like, it's...
Because Sam had me dying, too.
Sam had me dying. Fucking, give it up for Antonio Banderas. Looking straight...
Evil, like Euro trash
evil. Like, it's a fun fucking movie.
Yeah, man, I wasn't expecting this. My only complaints are like Patrick Hughes is an okay director and the editing super choppy.
But it's super choppy, but it's that European action movie style. It's that
I don't like that shit.
Yeah, I mean, like, you either like it or you don't, but it's definitely got shades of Luc Besson, like early Luc Besson, shit like that. This shit with Taxi and all that shit. But yeah, it's that
Man, I mean,
that style.
I don't know, man. I just think that this time out, they had a better script.
Yeah, I mean, definitely the script, like, everything is better.
Yeah.
Like, it looks like everyone was having fun.
Yeah. And there's stuff in this that I didn't see coming.
Right.
So,
like the whole entire the shit with the therapist.
Yeah. He's like, all right, get the fuck out now.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't want to give too much. Well, it's not much to give away. I mean, like,
oh no, the only thing, because we've seen a bunch of trailers, and the trailers only really give away the first act of the movie,
right?
And the first act, like, I thought that was the whole thrust of the movie, and that only ended up being like the first 15-20 minutes when we got to that part. I was like, oh, okay,
yeah, there's so much more. There's so much.
There's a lot more. Yeah. Man, can we just get a Sonia Kincaid movie?
I think it's coming. Like, it's coming.
Like, we cannot state enough just how much Salma Hayek steals this movie and is just so vulgar that it even made me at times like, she said that?
Right. So you know what we're going to end up with? We're going to end up with the Hitman's Wife's Baby's Bodyguard. Because they're going to fucking... Oh, that's right. I forgot at the end of the movie.
Don't spoil it. I'm not going to ruin it. Don't spoil it. You gotta, yeah. Like, as soon as I saw...
that's the paper. As soon as
I saw the paper, I was like, "Oh, I know where this is going," and then I was right.
Right, but like it was still hilarious.
Yeah.
Oh shit! So
stick around for the first part of the credits too, because
it's a fun movie. It's not going to change your life, but it's a nice, enjoyable film.
Yeah, man.
It's a movie. It's a popcorn movie.
And it comes out Wednesday. It's the only thing really besides the Sparks Brothers documentary that comes out this week. It's just that on Wednesday and Sparks Brothers on Friday. So don't rush out Wednesday either. Take your time with it,
Right. But like if you're having a bad day, go see this fucking movie.
Yeah, man. It's a shame though. We'll see how it does because it's coming out the week before F9. And walking out of this, I was like, I'm ready for F9, baby. Like I'm ready for some
your body's ready for it. Yeah.
Like some major action and stupidity. Like I want to know what retarded thing they're gonna do in this one. Like I is it the magnet car? Because that's pretty fucking stupid.
Well, the magnet car. There's the space shuttle car.
Them swinging from island to island with the car.
The fact that Han is back.
Yeah, that don't make no fucking sense. He should be extra crispy.
Right.
The fact that Charlize Theron flies a jet and magnetizes the jet so she could catch John Cena's car.
Yeah, so this is dumb done the right way.
Yeah, man. Like, I guess that's
That's it.
Ooh, all right. That's episode 8. We're the Film Blurs. I'm Brandon Norwood, and I'm the motherfucking protagonist.
I'm the protagonist.
Joe's dad now.
I'm Jeff Stewart, and I am not the motherfucking protagonist.
Don't come at us. It's just fucking movies.
Joe, watch your ass.
You've been listening to the Film Blurs podcast.
Man, I just love what you guys do, man.
I never miss an episode. It's the best. It's my favorite podcast.
Follow Jeff on IG on MindFireXL and Brandon on Twitter at BJN Tweets.